from West Coast Drum Shop, here again to do another tuning video for you. And if you saw the intro, what you heard was a tom-tom intentionally tuned to sound not good. So we're going to cover the basics here and we'll show you what's going on. All right, so the drum we're working with today is a British drum company Lounge Series drum, which is a birch and mahogany shell. It's a really easy drum to tune. The reason I want to use this drum is so everything I'm doing picks up really easily on camera and allows you to hear what's going on. So, we hit the drum earlier, but just one more time. That's even worse than before, right? So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to back out the head completely. I'm gonna take each tension rod down to finger tight, so I'm gonna back them all off. And I'm gonna tap the drum lightly. We don't really have a pleasing tone from that drum head yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start evenly bringing the tension up around. I'm gonna go about, maybe about a quarter of a turn. And that's going in a crisscross pattern that skips a lug and jumps across. So I'm gonna hit the drum again, see where we're at. We don't have a decent sounding tone yet, so I'm gonna keep going, another quarter turn. That's another quarter turn. Let's see what we got. A note. Amazing, right? So we have something to work with. Clear, it sustains. It doesn't sound like this, where you get no sustain despite rods being tight across the drum. Let's tune that back up. Now what I'm going to do while we have it here, I'm going to stretch the drum head out a little bit by putting even pressure on the center of the drum head. So this is kind of like pre-stretching a guitar string before you start playing it. The reason you want to do this is you don't want any stretching to happen while you play, because then your tuning will go south. And we don't want that. We want to keep it the same as best we can. So I'm going to push around the edges, get it all nice and connected. Okay, cool. That's probably stretched enough. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the pitch of the drum head about 1 inch in from each lug or tension rod. I'm going to check it and even them out. This will be my master. I'll check all the others off of this one, rotate the drum, pick another master, and then do it again. Also notice I'm putting my finger in the center of the drum head to mute the overtones. It allows you to hear the fundamental tone easier. Okay, so I've done that a couple times now, and I have what sounds to be one note coming from the drum head, which is what we're looking for. Granted, I will admit it's a little bit high. Let's leave it there for now. Let's address the batter head. Let's hit it and see where we're at. Unpleasant. Let's back it off to 0, like we did the other one, and start tensioning the rods up, quarter turn at a time. Nothing good there. Okay, let's start. See where we're at. Got a little bit of something, but in my opinion, we can do better than that. So let's keep going up. Maybe 1/8 of a turn now. All right, we got a pitch. Granted, there's some warbles coming off of it because not all these rods are in tune with each other yet. So let's try to even that out. All right, we have a nice clear note. Let's see what the drum sounds like. Not bad, little high in my opinion, so I'm gonna take the knowledge from my first go around with that resonant head, I'm gonna drop that down a little bit and we should be pretty close. going to check the relationship between the reso and the batter head. So I'm going to mute one and hit tap the other. Not terribly far apart. Let's see what the drum sounds like. Sounds pretty good. Long sustain, really good cut, really good presence. I still feel like the drum wants to go lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both heads down a touch and see the kind of sound I can get from that. So I've dropped both heads, let's see where we're at. All right, now we're in a tricky spot because we have a very deep tone, but we have a huge dive bomb going on, that boo. Do we want that? Sometimes people do. Me personally, for most situations, not so much. First, let's check the relationship between the batter head and the resonant head, see where we're at. So what I'm noticing is that the reso is looser than the batter head. I typically do not tune my tom-toms that way. Maybe floor toms, that's a personal thing, but with rack toms, I typically like my reso head to be a little tighter than my batter head. The way I'm gonna fix that is just tightening it up to about the same pitch, if not a little higher than my batter head. So for the sake of this video, I overcorrected, intentionally. Let's see what the drum sounds like now with our batter head here and our reso head here. Pretty big difference. It's got some cut and some projection, but I can also hear the ring of the reso head when I hit the batter head. And it's still a very high note, but it does increase projection quite a bit. So now what I'm gonna do is try to tune this pretty close to the same just by feel. I think I got about a minor second, something like that, I'm just guessing. Let's see what the drum sounds like. To me, that sounds pretty good. I'm feeling the shell resonate, and I can feel it in my body, that the shell seems to be really kind of resonating. There's a really long sustain. There's a little bit of a dive bomb, but it's not a bothersome one. It's kind of a pleasant one. So I think what we have here is a pretty happy medium. I would say this is a pretty medium tuning for a 12-inch drum, and depending on our personal needs and taste, we could take it up or down from here. And I think that should hopefully help you. To sum it all up, this is one way to tune a tom-tom, but the most important thing is to experiment. And that's why you saw me attempting different things, right? So any questions or comments, post below, and give us a like and subscribe. Thanks again.